Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Mina Safety. My name is Mina. I come your way again with another topic very important for our mothers and infants. Today, we are going to discuss two major topics regarding mothers and infants. We will touch on nutrition during pregnancy and infant malnutrition. Malnutrition is a serious condition that happens when the body doesn't get the right amount of nutrient, either too much or too little, leaving the body either obese or underweight. Please take note, a malnourished person is either obese or underweight. It's not always the case that a malnourished person is underweight or slim or small. Anyone that is obese, fat, big is also malnourished. So when you talk about malnutrition, it's either too much or too little of your nutrient intake. Let's go in details of what it actually means, what nutrition is all about during pregnancy. You know, mothers are great people when they go through a lot of changes during pregnancy. Pregnancy itself makes mothers deficient in nutrients and also vulnerable to diseases. So during pregnancy, the needs for their nutrient increases because the child or the unborn baby absorbs a lot of nutrients from the mother throughout the 9 months. So due to that, if a mother does not eat well or adequately on daily basis, the body doesn't get enough nutrients for both mother and unborn baby, hence putting the mother at risk of anemia. The unborn child as well does not develop fully or very well. So today I'm going to throw more light on what to eat during pregnancy to make sure you stay healthy till childbirth and also get the right amount of nutrient for your baby or your unborn child. Pregnancy is a whole physiological process that can drain a mother. So you need to achieve a balanced diet in your choices of food and take your daily doses of folic acid. So to be able to achieve a balanced diet, you need to have in a meal a portion of carbohydrate, which could be any cereal or tuber such as rice, maize, millet, sorghum, cocoyam, sweet potato, Irish potato, plantain, cassava or bread. You also need a portion of protein in your meal that may include fish, egg, shrimps, red meat, chicken or cheese. You also need a portion of vegetables such as cabbage, onions, lettuce, carrot, sweet pepper, broccoli, spinach, cocoyam leaves or any green leafy vegetable. You also need a portion of fruit. For example, it could be mango, banana, orange, tangerine, and all. But please take note, pineapple and pawpaw can increase your risk of miscarriage during pregnancy. So it's advisable not to eat too much of it. So basically, you need one of each group to be able to achieve a balanced diet. So in your full meal, you should have a portion of carbohydrate, a portion of protein, a portion of fruits, and a portion of vegetables, with a proportion of 60% carbohydrate, 10% protein, 20% vegetables, and 10% fruit. So what I mean is, in your full meal, you should have the portion of that meal having 60% of your carbs or your carbohydrate. That same meal should have 10% of proteins, 20% of vegetables, and 10% of fruits. That way you can achieve a balanced diet. So that should happen in every meal you take. One thing you have to know also is fruits and vegetables are the main source of your micronutrient that helps build your blood. And then the carbohydrate gives you the energy you need for your daily activities. It gives you the vitality as well. Protein helps build your body and keeps the blood at the adequate level, or better still, helps make your blood and give you enough blood. During pregnancy, you need enough rest for the body, because the body needs enough energy to go through all the physiological processes it has to go through. So you need enough rest to be able to conserve energy for all these physiological activities. You also need to have minimal exercises so that all the nutrients you obtain from your food can evenly be distributed till it gets to the child, or so that the child can easily absorb it. If you eat and you're at one place all the time, what happens is the nutrients are not fully digested, and so the child does not get enough from the blood. But when you exercise, you help the body distribute that blood carrying the nutrient throughout the body till the child absorbs the nutrient. There are some do's and don'ts in nutrition during pregnancy, and I'm going to go in detail with that. So there are some foods to avoid during pregnancy. For example, carbonated drinks, which make the child obese at birth. Too much consumption of salt can increase your chances of preeclampsia. It's also known as high blood pressure accompanied with seizure during pregnancy, and so you have to be monitoring your blood pressure as well. Then you reduce your intake of salt. Avoid alcohol. Alcohol is a totally no-go area, since it interferes with the brain development of the child. It reduces the body's ability to absorb nutrients, or the body's affinity for nutrients. Reduce your intake of too much pepper. Pepper itself does not have an impact on the child, but what it does is it increases heartburns, so it therefore makes you uncomfortable. So when a child is finally born, the body needs to produce enough breast milk to help that child feed adequately. So if you decide to put your child on exclusive breastfeeding, which is actually the best, you need to prepare for it. Prepare for it in a sense that you need to eat good meals on daily basis. You bear in mind that your body is what makes the food for the newborn child. So therefore you need to consume ideal meals, healthy meals, fully balanced diet, so that the breast milk can be fully loaded, in quote. The breast milk can be nutritious. The breast milk can have all the nutrients you are eating. So as a nutritionist, I advise mothers to eat well during breastfeeding as well, because whatever you eat makes up the breast milk, and then your child gets it and grows well. Infants are very delicate, and they depend on mothers for their growth, especially at the early stage. So infants on exclusive breastfeeding most of the time are at risk of something called neonatal hypoglycemia. It's a condition where the infant is underfed and doesn't get enough nutrients or enough energy to survive or grow. It makes them look light, low in weight, have high, sometimes they get fever, they have low body temperature, have seizures, and it also stops them from breathing well. That makes them grow leaner and all. It's important to feed a child, especially those on exclusive breastfeeding, every 2 to 3 hours to be able to help them meet their nutrient needs on daily basis. When it's time for weaning the child, you need to make sure that the supplementary food is very nutritious and well prepared and safe for consumption. Take note, any food allergy, any food that may cause an allergy to the child should be avoided. So what you do at the beginning, if you realize that the child has a food allergy, you stop completely. You stop giving it to the child until you wait for the child to grow a little older, and you reintroduce the food gradually to the child, and then these food allergies can stop or disappear on their own. So let's dive more into child malnutrition. Child malnutrition is a very important issue, because the child's nutrition at their early stage is very critical. The reason being that it contributes 95% of their growth and development between 1 to 5 years. That is the age bracket where the child needs a lot of good food to be able to grow and develop. Because as soon as the brain is developed within this age bracket, that is it. And so during this age bracket 1 to 5, the child needs a lot of good food to be able to develop, grow, and form all their brains fully. So as the child begins to take complementary foods apart from any specific milk that the child may be on, the child can eat like any other adult. So far as the food is safe, is a balanced diet, just like any other adult, the child can eat the food as well. Just make sure that children on exclusive breastfeeding, when they are beginning to take complementary foods, they actually need some help, some support. And what I mean is, you need to make the food in such a way that they can easily swallow, because it's not easy for them to move from watery food, which is breast milk, to solid. And so the transition should be very smooth. So what do you do to help them? You make sure you blend the food or make it a bit lighter for them to easily swallow. Children are at risk of malnutrition a lot in our part of the world. In Africa especially, where you realize that children are seen as the least in the family. They may not be given the good portion of meals like the fish, the meat, the egg, and all that, which is totally wrong. Because with adults, even when they are not given this meat, fish, egg, and proteins, they will not necessarily be affected. But with children, because they are growing faster and their metabolism rate is high, they are changing very fast at the early stage, producing more organs and developing more organs and developing their brains, their blood. They need these proteins to build their body. So they have to be given more of these things compared to the adult, so that they can grow well and maintain an adequate level of blood. So ideally, children are supposed to eat 4 to 5 healthy meals per day, especially those under 5. It's very important. So please take note. Children who are also on exclusive breastfeeding are supposed to be well breastfed to reduce the risk of obesity, because a child that is not well breastfed has a risk of low IQ. There's more frequency in illnesses and all that. But when they are well breastfed, they become more intelligent, they are resistant to illness, they develop their potential fully. Let's pay attention to our child's intake, because it's very critical. Let's not be too lazy to prepare wholesome foods for the child, because it's worth it. When you do it, you realize that the child is fit, healthy, intelligent, smart, and all that. And so this is a little I have for you today. I am coming your way again next week with more topics. Thank you for your attention, and expect more MENA safety. MENA safety, stay healthy, stay safe, live long. Thank you.